All right, if I was gonna buy a brand new home in 2026, I wanna give you some areas that you might want to look at. I was trying to figure out a creative way to show this to you guys and make it make sense. The best thing I could come up with was a Venn diagram. And this came up because I was watching my wife prepare lessons, and they were talking about Venn diagrams in 3rd grade. So, I was like, well, what better way to do this than to build out my Venn diagram and show you guys a couple areas that I might consider looking at and why if you were buying a brand new construction home in 2026. If we haven't met before, hello, my name is Zach. My team and I, we sell new construction real estate. So that's all we do here in the DFW area. Now, I'm not gonna give you I can't hit every single market in this video. I've got a couple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 8 things on my list that might fit in somewhere on my Venn diagram, and they may not perfectly fit, but I want to try and give you as much information as I can where we might want to look if you're considering either builder inventory or honestly just straight up going and then building from the ground up. These are the places a lot of people are going to be looking, and I'm going to tell you why. So, to the Venn diagram, let me explain to you my circles of things that I'm trying to consider. So on the bottom, we've got places that have low property taxes. Now, low is relative. I would like property taxes to be 0, but they're not. So low is, like criteria wise, let me give you my criterias. Got my notes that I was using. Low taxes, I was trying to say anything under 2.6 or 2.7%. There are things well underneath that on my list, and there are things kind of underneath that. So at the bottom, we've got low property taxes. At the green on this side, we've got a good school rating. And I was using information from like TEA and niche.com and all of those spaces. Good school rating, I'm looking for like a B, B+, or better with their school rating. And then decent pricing on new homes is the third side. This was a little bit subjective because there are some areas that have really great value per square foot, so to speak, but it's expensive. So decent pricing, we're gonna kind of talk through that and kind of give you some pieces that might help make sense of why I picked those, even if they're not the most quote unquote affordable, right? So let's we will actually start with our friends in Prosper. So Prosper, to me, everybody's like Prosper, Prosper, Prosper. They get all really excited. And I think there's some really cool stuff in Prosper, and there's a lot of growth up that way. But I will tell you, fighting traffic on 380, I did it this morning. I was like, this is dumb. So I think that to me gets kind of the bad rap, like so much growth. And honestly, it is not affordable. It's like you're not getting into Prosper realistically for anything decently sized for under 6, 7, probably 800,000 in some spaces, which is crazy. Places like, Mustang Lakes or Windsong or any of those places, they're going to be super pricey. But they do have one of the best rated school districts in DFW. They've continued to expand. They've got, seems like campuses opening every year, and tax rate wise, comparative for Collin County, decently taxed in most of those neighborhoods. So Prosper, they're gonna come and they're gonna sit in this little section right here. We're gonna say, hey, they have good schools, they have low-ish kind of taxes. So we're gonna say Prosper belongs in our middle of those two there. Another one, look at my notes. Let's do a good value plus not necessarily low taxes. So let's do, so it's gonna be good school, but kind of bad on the taxes, right? So you're gonna be able to find some things that are affordable here. You're going to find some relatively priced neighborhoods. There's not a lot of what I would call high-end builders. These are a lot of mid-tier builders in this space, but the school district is a growing school district that a lot of people tend to like. It is the opposite side of 380, and this, for me, is Princeton. We're gonna take Princeton, and we're gonna put them in we're gonna shrink them down, at least where we can see them, and put them in the good schools, plus the pricing category. Downside to there is it is on 380, and if you've seen any of the news, Princeton's one of the fastest growing areas in DFW, and they've actually just kind of put a moratorium on some of their, some of their building, like trying to slow down some of their building. Price per square foot is some of the best you'll see in DFW. However, you are probably going to pay a MUD or a PID tax. I have not found hardly any developments in Princeton that do not have those taxes, which is why they don't get to come hang out here. They get to just kind of say, hey, we have really good schools, we have affordable housing, but our taxes, they kind of suck. So it is a little bit of a trade-off. Staying on our kind of affordability side, if you're wanting, so this one, I'm gonna give you good pricing on homes for what it is, and a little bit lower on the property taxes, but we're gonna miss on the school side. So if you're looking at DFW, you're like, well, where should we go? This one to me is like Crandall, Kaufman, Terrell. I've kind of got it all a little bit lumped together right here. Basically Kaufman County. This will also include parts of Forney. Out toward the Forney area, toward 80, 20, that direction, you're going to find a lot of home for the value of the money. You also tend to see these be a little bit lower in the tax setup than what you might see up north. But if you're looking at the school district ratings, I will say some of them, it's just the fact that it's a small town district, right? And there's nothing, it's just growing and it's gonna come with time. Others of them, you might look at it and be like Forney, for example, is doing some incredible things in their school district. You know, they've got campuses that have opened. In the last couple of years, they opened the OC, or the Opportunity Central, which is a super cool STEM, not even just STEM, but like career and growth space for students. I love what's going on there. But if you look at the ratings, it is not rating out super great. Like, it's not rating out on the high end like we would see in some of these other districts. But if you want the kind of affordable on the pricing and the low property taxes, some pockets of Forney, Crandall, Kaufman would be where we look. Now, disclaimer, just because one piece of a city has low property taxes doesn't mean that all of that city is gonna have low property. You've gotta really, really look based on like the development that you're buying in. So if you're buying in Devonshire, you might have a different property tax rate than if you were buying in the new neighborhood, Meraki. So you just gotta kind of look at it and see where those tend to fall and how it might best fit your budget. So affordability and taxes there. We've got Crandall, Kaufman County. Pricing and schools, we've got Princeton right now. We've got schools, but lowish taxes, higher price, Prosper. I'm gonna give you one that is gonna fit probably in our trifecta category. And this is one that honestly not a lot of people talk about because there's not as much growth going this direction yet. I think this is going to be one of those places that sees some growth after we've seen the boom of the north and the east and the west. This is going to be kind of down south, and I'm going to give you this one as Midlothian, and they're going to kind of sit almost right in the middle, right? So they almost hit all three of these scenarios. They have several neighborhoods that are mud and pit free, which is good. They do add like an MMD tax in some of those, so you just got to kind of be careful with that, what you're looking at. But tax-wise, good. School districts, good. Affordability for what you're finding in the new space, you're probably gonna be in that high 3 to mid 5 range, and you're gonna get a little bit more space with the home that you're building. Places like Villages of Walnut Grove or Bridgewater, any of those things, some really neat stuff going on down south for our friends in Midlothian. Now, what do I have left? I got some north, I got some west, and I've got some kind of north, central, east. Let's talk about Northlake. Justin, Northlake. This is the north side of Fort Worth. Elite rated amenities builders. You've got, like Pecan Square, and Harvest. You've got all of these great things, but they tend to add a little bit more in the tax category. So really good schools, a little bit higher on the taxes, and great quality builders that I think for now, you're gonna see somewhat of it be affordable. As it continues to grow, pricing, I believe, is going to grow in the Justin, Northlake area. We're seeing, Harvest, Pecan Square, those are already kind of a little too pricey. There's a few others that, you could look at Timberbrook, for example, with, Cahog, Bloomfield, Pacesetter. Pacesetter's in that like high 4 to 5 range. Of course, you start getting into Harvest, Pecan Square, your pricing is gonna jump significantly. But Northlake, people love it. And I just keep trying to tell, I'm on the opposite side of the Metroplex, and people are like, Zach, you got to keep coming over here. I'm like, I know. I just got to find time to go out there and hang out and see all the good stuff. So I'm going to give them the schools plus, they're going to have a good school, and then they're going to have good value. So we're gonna kind of set them here in our little board thingy. Now, I got 3 left. I feel like these 3, 2 of them for sure, well, 1 of them for sure. I kind of waffle back and forth on how I feel about this. And of course, again, I'm not hitting every single area. Like this video would be like 3 hours long if we did every single area and we're trying to maximize all of these spaces. And maybe I hit one and you're like, Zach, I totally disagree with you. Please tell me. Or you're like, oh, you missed this one. Absolutely, let me know. We're working all of the Metroplex as best as we can to hit as many different builders, as many different communities. So if I can help you like figure out what you value on the board and where to find it with a new build or with a builder's inventory, I would love to do that. As always, our contact information, we just like, can I just like circle like right there? Whatever. We will put that out there on the board for you. All right, back to where we're at. We've got 3 more to hit. Ratings wise, let's do our friends in McKinney. Where's my notes on McKinney? McKinney almost to me sits right in this middle trifecta, depending on the neighborhood. We go to a neighborhood like a Painted Tree, right? Like this is the big, massive one in McKinney. You're going to find probably a little bit lower taxes, good schools, higher build quality, but pricing is gonna jump a little bit, right? Another place to look like at a McKinney would be a neighborhood just to the north, a Astor Park. Astor Park technically has a McKinney address. It has no mud, no pit, but it has Prosper ISD schools. So McKinney is one of those ones that could kind of sit right in this middle space to me, depending on where you go in McKinney. It also is great in terms of location. It's relatively central to DFW, so you have the ability to get pretty much anywhere that you need to be. But if you end up kind of out, like if you're looking more for the affordable side, this is why I also mentioned McKinney. If you're looking more for the affordable side, you can kind of come move to the east on like the 380 side. So like East Ridge, South Ridge, all of those neighborhoods, Trophy, Meritage, you're finding some very, very affordable stuff that still pulls the McKinney ISD address. I think some of those neighborhoods might have a tax that's, the mud or the pit. You really just have to look at it. So that's to me why McKinney sits in that area. Another one that not a lot of people talk about is Wylie. And to me, Wylie also gets to sit potentially right in all 3, depending on where you're looking. For example, if you're looking at a neighborhood like a Hillstead, which is right at the corner of 78 and 205, technically, if we're being honest, technically that's a Lavon address, but it's a neighborhood that has builders like Perry, Dries, Highland, American Legend, top tier builders, and it puts students into Wylie ISD. The cool thing about Wylie ISD that is not very widely talked about, they kind of fly under the radar. They are one of the largest districts. So earlier this year, we did a top 5 school districts based on TEA ratings. Wylie is one of the largest school districts that had a majority of their campuses at or above, I think it was a B or an A rating. I gotta check it. Let me check it. I wanna give you the right facts. Yeah, okay, so I had this right, and this is what's super cool. So I'm just gonna read it to you from their website. It says, Wylie ISD excellence is the standard in every classroom and on campus. This year, Wylie ISD once again earned the highest rating possible from the TEA in the A through F accountability ratings, achieving an overall A for 2025. Even more impressive is every eligible campus in the district received an A rating in its distinction results this year. That is incredible, especially considering they're a district of it's probably somewhere between 15 and 25,000 students. It's wild. So school rating, Wylie for sure can go here. Low property taxes, depends on where it's at. You could find some neighborhoods that may or may not have those PIDs, and decent pricing, same thing. So like Hillstead is gonna be in the 400 to 600 range, but then if you come to like Dominion of Pleasant Valley, you're gonna be in like the 600 to like 800 range. So it really just depends. So I kind of like, I feel crazy moving this around, but whatever. We're gonna give Wylie potentially this middle spot here. We're gonna say McKinney gets the middle spot here, and Midlothian kind of gets the middle spot there. That leaves us with one Rockwall / Heath. And now, I kind of am a big fan of this area because this is the area we live kind of Rockwall Heath adjacent. We're not quite there, but we're just a little bit to the north of it. County-wise, you're gonna find some of the lowest property taxes in anywhere. There's very few neighborhoods that have muds and pits. The trade-off is their pricing is gonna be a little bit higher. So it really depends, right? You could go like to the north side, and so we're gonna say Rockwall Heath goes right there in the middle. You could go to the north side off of John King and look at a neighborhood like Park Trails and find a home from the high 400s to like the 600s, and that neighborhood's gonna have like a 1.5% total tax rate. It's awesome. You could stay on that side, go a little bit further up and look at a neighborhood like a Quail Hollow or a Gideon Grove. Those neighborhoods, same thing, 1.5, 1.6, a little bit higher price, so like a 600 to 700-ish range, give or take. You could come down south and look at a neighborhood like a Homestead with builders like Shattuck, Drees, Coventry, any of those spaces. A little bit higher price point, 6 to 8, but again, 1.5 thereabout on the tax rate. Come even further, swinging it back around south, look at a neighborhood like a Sonoma Verde with 60 and 70 foot lots. 2% total tax rate, but builders like Castle Rock, Castle Rock's selling all their lots, Perry, Bloomfield, Highland. Tons of options in the Rockwall area. You might even be able to cheat it a little bit, go out to a neighborhood, so next town back from Rockwall would be a Fate. Fate, half of that goes to Roy City, half of that goes to Rockwall. The part that goes to Rockwall, you could look in a neighborhood like a Montera that just opened its brand new phase. It's gonna have builders like Khov, David Weekley, Grand, Highland, 50s and 70 foot lots, starting in about the 400s, but it's not gonna hit on that 1.5 tax rate. It's actually just gonna hit your schools and your pricing because it does have either a mud or a pit, which makes it like 2.2 to 2.4%. You could come back up, look at a place like Terraces, David Weekley, Perry, sub 2% tax rate, higher price point, bigger lots. Tons of opportunity. So low taxes, good schools. Both of them have, that district has expanded. So my districts here, they're all investing and expanding in whatever they can for their kids. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I did. And again, not every neighborhood for every city is gonna fit exactly in this perfect bubble. This is just kind of get you thinking, and let's start having that conversation to where it's like, hey, what might we be looking for? Like, do we care more about, do we want to fill in this section here? Or do we want to fill in this section? Maybe it's like, you know what? I just like this one. Or you're just like, hey, I just want a decent price on a new home. I don't really care about the rest of that. I'm retired. It doesn't matter. Either way, I would love to help you, right? I feel like I've just like all this stuff at you all the time. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to don't take what's in my brain and get it out for you guys in a way that might be helpful if you're considering making a move or looking at new homes in 2026. If you have questions, please let me know. I will drop it right here. Call, text, email, whatever you need. Want to help you and your family find the best home you can in 2026. Buy it from a builder and enjoy it. So appreciate you guys indulging my whatever brainchild that was. Had a lot of fun. We'll see you in our next video.